Verbs are words that indicate an action, an occurrence, or state of being. In Albanian, there are 6 classes of verbs. Verbs that end in -ia, punoj, to work. Verbs that end in a consonant, hop, to open. Verbs that end in a vowel, ha, to eat. Verbs that end in -i, eci. Verbs that end in -em or -hem, quhem, to be called. Verbs that are irregular, like yap, to give. So you see here punoj, and verbs in Albanian are classified according to the form that the first person singular takes. So in this case, we have un punoj, I work. Then un hap, I open. Un ha, I eat. Un eci, I walk. Un quhem, my name is. Un jap, I give. So it's just like saying I and then the verb. So we don't use the infinitive. Not like English that they use infinitive, but we use the form that the first person singular takes. Now we will see how present indicative verbs that end in -ia, how they are conjugated. So there are many verbs that end in -ia and they follow the same conjugation pattern. So we will consider the verbs punoj, to work, and banoj or jetoj, to live. So it is un punoj, ti punon, ai punon, ajo punon. Ne punojmë, ju punoni, ata punojnë, ato punojnë. So what do we see here? We see the first person singular, -ia, is there. So ends in a letter -ia. Then for the second and third person singular, we have -n at the end. So for plural, we have -ima, the ending -ima. So it is typical for the first person plural, so to have -m. So it's typical to have this -m there. So when I say it's typical, I mean you will find this -m also in other classes of the verbs. So for present indicative. So ju punoni, this ending ni, it is common for all other verbs in all other classes. So this one will remain unchanged. So for all the verbs in the present indicative. So you will see in later examples how other classes verbs are conjugated, and you will see this ending. So ata ato punojnë, what is common or what is typical for this a person, third person plural, it is to have this -n at the end. So punojnë. Then we have un banoj, ti banon, ai banon, ajo banon. Ne banojmë, ju banoni, ata banojnë, ato banojnë. So it is un jetoj, ti jeton, ai jeton, ajo jeton. Ne jetojmë, ju jetoni, ata jetojnë, ato jetojnë. So as soon as you memorize these endings, like for the first person, yeah, for the second, në, for the third, në, for the first plural, më, second plural, ni, third person plural, në. So as soon as you memorize these endings, you will know how to conjugate all other verbs that end in ye. So in the present indicative.